Well, good morning, everybody. Steve Montelli here. Time for an update on my 4 top wallets right now. I'm going to start with the tail feather because this has been a love-hate relationship. The tail feather is pretty unique. Well, it is and it isn't. It's kangaroo leather, so that's got a really good smell to it. The stitching is very robust, as you can see here. Very robust. There's been no pop stitches on the tail feather. Now, I have been using the tail feather constantly now since I did the last video on it, and it's breaking in somewhat. You can see the kind of indentations right here where the cards are. It's breaking in a bit on the inside, but this is some tough leather. I'll tell you, it's not breaking in like a soft Chromexel leather. So what I've been doing is I've been carrying 5 cards in it, and I've been putting 5 credit cards on this side, and I've been taking the cash represented by the 6 bills and putting it over on this side, because what I really, if I had my choice, I'd rather that they would take the bill holder out of the tail feather completely and just have it one piece of leather with these 2 pockets, because I really don't use the bill holder. I mean, I think I have a receipt in there right now, but I really don't use the bill holder for the bills because it makes it a little too thick for my liking. Now, obviously, when you see this, you go, man, that is not thick at all. And it isn't. And it's really been I go out of it, I go into it, I go out of it, I go into it. I mean, I like the tail feather, but not all that much. And I don't know if that makes sense, but I like using it. It's a very unique leather. I mean, made in Australia, so there's a lot of good things to it. There's a lot of things to it, like the standard bifold, that I'm really not that into. But what I'll switch out of when I switch out of the tail feather, the 2 main wallets have been recently, it's the tail feather and the Ashland. Now the Ashland is the Chromexel, the Horween Chromexel. Now the Ashland stitching has not been as robust, shall we say, as the tail feather stitching. You can see where the stitching is real small. I mean, it's really kind of call it a petite stitch, I guess. And I've already popped a stitch on it once right here in the front, which I showed you in an earlier video, and I sent it back to Phil at Ashland, and he fixed it up and sent it right back out to me. But these are really the 2 favorites right now, is the Ashland and the tail feather. Now the Ashland, I use that a lot of times the same way. I put 5 cards in this side, because this is the card side holder, and I put the bills over on this side. So the wallet is set up to perfectly hold cards and bills folded once. Now my issue is this. Of course, what else could it be? That's the thickness of it. And while that's not really bad at all, I really have to kind of work it into shape to get it to hold flat, but it doesn't take much. And you can see that on the Ashland, the cards form to the leather much better than on the tail feather. And this being the Chromexel pull-up leather, that's the kind of look that you get when you've kind of forced the leather out a bit. And from what I understand, it forces the fat up towards the surface, and that's what creates the lighter look here. But you can see how the cards have formed in the Ashland much better than the tail feather. But I really like the Ashland, and seriously, I'm carrying 2 wallets sometimes because I like them both. So if I really want to thin it down a lot, I just put them in different pockets. I know over the top on that one. But so that's the tail feather and the Ashland. Now my 2 other wallets that I really still like quite a bit are, of course, the Mitchell Money Clip in the Shell Cordovan and the Dublin. And so I will use the Mitchell on occasion, but my issue with the Mitchell is this. Let me put some cards in here and I'll show you. It doesn't stay real thin. Now, I realize that, that's just a little peeve of mine, but, it is an issue. So what you got here is, so I put in 3 there and 2 there. So not bad right there, huh? Okay, let me stick some bills in it. And where it really starts to impact, so the bills go in, and as I've said before, you know, the big deal about a Mitchell money clip is this clip right here. I mean, that is one stiff piece of metal. So there it is with some bills in it. Now, should you have to put some cards down in these lower slots, it really starts to have girth issues. So I'm going to stick a couple of cards down here, if I can get those in there. That's what it starts to look like. Now it's really, and then if you stick a couple of cards on the other side, it forces out even more, because the only sides that, the thing that makes it thick is the cards are just balancing on this top level right here. And these levels right here really don't have a lot to do with it. But that turns out to be pretty thick. So I try not to use this with that kind of cardage in it. But I will use it lots of times, but just with the 5 cards. And that's, you know, that's okay. I mean, I can live with that. But any thicker, you know, I really can't deal with it too well. Now, the last one that I really like is the Modern Industry Black. Now, if you saw the original video, you know that I did the Modern Industry natural color, and it was really, really a horrible thing. I mean, it's like they didn't finish the leather at all. It's like they didn't shave the leather down, or however they do that kind of thing. But I believe this is a Horween vegetable tanned leather. Now let me show you how this looks with cards in it, because I do like the Modern Industry a lot, and it's a pretty small package once you get everything in it. So I got 3 there, I got 2 there. Now the bill holder is in the center, and which is kind of cool because now the smooth leather is on the inside, sort of a la the Phil's wallet. So it's really easy to get the money in and out. So if I put the 6 bills in there, that's what I got right there. So it's 2, or it's 3, and 2, and 6 bills. Now that, you know, I find that to be acceptable. You can, you know, force it down a little bit and squeeze the leather. But you see, starting out, that this leather, I believe it's a vegetable tan, is much thicker than the other leathers are. So, you know, I mean, it's just, that's the way it is on this wallet. But this black one is a completely different Modern Industry wallet experience than the brown one. So that's the update for right now. I'm still using the tail feather on a daily basis, just because, you know, while I don't really like the bifold layout of it, boy, you know what? I do like the tail feather wallet. It's real unique in certain ways. So it's the tail feather followed by the Ashland, followed by the Mitchell money clip, followed by the Modern Industry Black. So that's what's been going on nowadays. The wallet insanity continues. I'm still looking at doing some small shops. I've been talking to a couple of people through email about going down to their shop areas in San Diego and LA and doing a little interview and that kind of thing. So I'll see where all that goes. But this has what's been going on lately. Thanks for watching.